complete department for your 2014 through 2018 Silverado 1500. These power heated towing mirrors with LED turn signals will be a mod that you'll want to look into. Now these are a great upgrade for the Silverado owners who are currently sporting those smaller base trim mirrors and aren't getting a good enough view behind them because of the small mirror. Now these will open up that field of view, allowing you to keep a close eye on whatever you're towing behind you, whether you tow all the time or just occasionally, but nonetheless need the additional visibility. Now, as you can see, these are going to be much larger than those smaller OE style mirrors with a 12 by 8 inch cutout for the mirrors and an upper main mirror as well as a lower convex mirror. Now the size and the difference in mirrors will also allow a great field of view to keep you safer, and the mirrors themselves will be power adjustable and come with the heated defrost setting if you have that feature from the factory. The mirrors will also fold and extend manually for clearance or additional visibility, allowing you some flexibility in really whatever you're doing. Now on the sides, this will also come with LED clearance lights for behind you, and on the back, this will have a large amber turn signal in the middle, both for making your truck much more noticed and adding some additional modern styling into the mix. These will be made of a full ABS plastic material, which will be strong for plastic to handle the elements over time, and it will also have a very nice textured finish to the plastic, which will match with other OE plastic accessories. Now the LEDs will also be very long lasting with a low energy consumption, so even with the super bright output that they have, they are going to last the long run. Now on the mounting surface, this will also have studs that are pre-installed and will come with hardware as well as a gasket for a secured fit, and this will also have reinforcement brackets included to prevent any vibrations while driving. Now while it will be a direct bolt-on swap, this will, as you can see, require a little bit of wiring. You're going to have factory style plugs, but for some specific features it will require some tapping into. So I do also want to mention that again, these features that this set has will only be compatible if your vehicle is equipped with those specific features from the factory, so just keep that in mind when you're checking this set out. Now these will come in at roughly $325 for both the driver and the passenger side. Now compared to other choices in the category, this set will be on the affordable side while bringing a good amount of features and functions to the table. Now while these will be a little bit plainer in design than some other choices, they do get the job done and will have lighting within the design, which is also an added bonus, making them well worth that price point. Now install will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and the wiring that is included is minor, so that's why it's getting a 1 out of 3. It's fairly simple. So it should only take you about 2 hours or so in total, about an hour per side to get the job done. Now speaking of the install, one of our customers here has put these on their truck and is going to walk you through what the details look like so you can get these onto your Silverado at home. So that's going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
These are a list of the tools that you will need for replacing your regular mirrors to the tow mirrors. First, you have a drill. With the drill, you have an extension. This is a step down to allow me to use my 1/4 inch. You may not need this. Then we have a 7mm and a 10mm socket, a flathead screwdriver. Does not have to be this long, can be shorter. We have a 3/8 drill bit to allow us to drill a hole for one of our studs if need be. We have electrical tape to tape down our electrical line for our tow mirrors if we need to. We have a set of pliers and some trim tools to help us remove some of the plastic pieces on the job that we did. These are all the tools that you will use to complete the tow mirror removal and installation. Hello everyone, I'm going to be replacing my side mirrors on my 2016 Chevy Silverado, the tow mirrors. I'm going to show you how to do the installation on the driver's side. It's going to be the exact same on the opposite side, the passenger side. So with that, we're going to get ready. All right, so to get started with the installation, we have to remove a couple of panels off of our door panel that we'll also be removing. So if we could just come in here and we'll see the tools that we'll be using. You see I have a drill along with an extension, and then this is just a step down, and I have a 7mm here you will also need a 10mm socket. I have a flathead screwdriver, and then I have my drill bit and my drill to drill a hole for the fourth stud that we'll get into. So we'll go ahead and get into the installation or the removal. So first we're gonna pop off the panel over by the door handle. We have a 7mm bolt that we have to remove there. And then I have a small Allen key to remove this small panel in here. It's just easier to use this to get in there to pop it loose. You could use any type of tool that has kind of a L shape to it, and it'll help to get this off. This one is probably the harder one to pop off, just because of the tight access that it has. All right, so we have our other little panel off here. That will expose 2 extra bolts that were removed. So we'll go ahead and start removing our bolts. We have 1 here, 2 inside of the door handle, and then 2 below. Remember, this is 7mm. And then down below here. Once you get that done, then you'll move on to removing a couple other panels. This silverish panel will have to come off as well. It is kind of tricky to pop off. But you just pop this off, just get your fingers underneath, and it should pop off. And then we just pull this off. It is kind of hard with these. You just want to make sure that you don't really mess those up. You'll have to get off of those. And then you have to pull a little down because there are tabs that you will have to remove. Once you have that removed, you will need to remove another bolt, which is in here. Located in there. It is still a 7mm. This is where the extension will come into play. You can leave it in there if you need to, or just kind of get it out with your finger. I just like to leave it in there. Then once you have that done, you'll just begin popping off your panel. We begin by pulling off the door. I like to start off from here and work my way around. Makes it a lot easier. It can be kind of tough as well. And it is good to roll down your window to help you get a little bit ease to get it out. And that's what I'll do now. All right, so this can be kind of a pain. Once you roll down your window, you should be able to get the door panel off. You just gotta make sure it clears this trim right here. And then you just push up on it and get it past the trim. There is the window seal that you will have to mess with as well. And make sure that comes with it. And then once you get it off, there are a couple things. So once you get the door off, you'll want to get this the door latch unhinged. So you'll pull this back, pressing down, up to the side, take the ball out. From there, you'll remove your electrical harness. Okay, so what you want to do is hit this red latch right here, press down the black tab, lift this up, and it'll allow for you to take out your back electrical harness for your mirror. And then you have a attaching part. You just want to pull nice and tight on that. Try and get that out without it breaking. Once you have that done, you then have your door removed. Set it to the side. Next, you'll remove this black piece of trim. There are 2 locations that you'll have to unpin it from, here and here. I'm using a trim removal tool. And I'm just gonna go up behind the piece, try and pop it off. Not to try and break it. And then that piece of trim will just pop off. So what I like to do is pop this piece off right here, which I have already partially done, and then pop this off right here. This was previously broken, as you can see here, so it makes it a lot easier to get off. And then you will take off these 3 bolts, and then your mirror will come off. These are going to be your 10mm size. So we'll now remove the bolts right here, or the nuts that we have on the studs. You'll have to hold your mirror. I have loosened them up already. I like to do the bottom ones first, just so it's easier. Hold that mirror on, and then once you have them all off, you can just pop it off. There are some pins that you need to remove occasionally. Those may not be on there whenever you do it. There is a 4th bolt on this portion for the tow mirrors. Luckily, Chevy is nice enough to make a thinner metal right here. You will need a 3/8 just to make a big enough hole, and you will drill right there onto it. I'm gonna cut the video so you don't have to hear me drilling. All right, we're gonna go ahead and install the tow mirror now. We have our 4 studs we have to do. I'm gonna thread this through. I might say route it through. This wiring will also be subject to change on your vehicle depending on what make and model you have, along with the actual year your vehicle is. For this one, it does not match up and have the same wiring, so there will have to be some wiring that needs to get done. In that case, I will not have my actual lights working on the mirrors themselves. I'm reusing the bolts due to the washers. I like to have the washers on there. It makes it a lot nicer, neater than the bolts that did come with the actual tow mirror itself. All right, so once you get them on, you just want to tighten them down, get them set in place. You also want to make sure they are tight, and then go ahead and look around, make sure that everything did fit on correctly up front, make sure there are no issues and that it's seated correctly. And then again, we come back over here. We do have a wiring harness that will connect up. We do not have the parts to actually connect it up correctly because it is not, or my vehicle was not equipped with the mirrors that were lighted. So that will have to be done separately. But in this case, you just plug and play, super easy. This, you can take off this harness since it will not be used. Connect it up to this one. And then these are used as a way and means to keep this down. So I will go ahead and tape those down and get everything else ready for install. Before I get started, I do want to install or take these off and install them onto the door, which I'll show you. It does take a minute to take these off. They're kind of, can be a pain in the butt to get off. I'm just using a flathead screwdriver to pop them off. Use whatever best fits you for removing them. How you remove them is you get behind there and you turn the tab that's in there. Once you turn that tab, it should release it, and then you'll just turn on the side and pop it free. Once you're done with that, you'll put them right here onto the door panel before you install your seal. Once you have those on, you can then put your door seal back on. Make sure you get your cutout lined up where it needs to go. And also move this around. Make sure it all lines up and that your seal falls into place where it needs to fall into. Making sure it's down. And then I've already connected this back up, put that back on, and then I just bring this down, connecting the tape to each one of the spots. Before putting the door panel back on, once you have that tape down, you'll want to install your upper trim. Your upper trim has a lip that you'll have to make sure that gets on. So what I like to do is to work on the bigger portion first, slot it in, this corner piece is the one piece that does not like to go on the most. Once you have that on, you push down around your actual metal panel. You can then connect it all back up. Once you get done putting on that one trim panel, you can then line up your door. The good thing is to put the actual lock for your door up. Make sure it is in the unlock position, and then line it up and get it through on the actual door panel itself. Pop it out, slot it up. Once you do that, all you'll do is align your door, get it into place, and then start connecting your door lever arm back. It's just getting the ball into place, slotting in, pulling it back, and then sliding the arm back into its position, pushing forward, and then connecting your electrical harness. You'll just line this up, get it where it needs to go. This one can be kind of tricky. If you got that locked in, you turn the lever in, move the red pin forward. Right here's the red pin. Move that forward, make sure it's all locked tight. Put the gray pin back in if you can. Once that's in, everything is now slotted in. You want to make sure that your door lines up properly whenever you go to put this on. And all you have to do, make sure it aligns right, and then pop it on. Working around, pushing tight, making sure everything slots in. All right, once you have that together, you have just one more trim panel, and then you install your bolts back. We're gonna go ahead and get this trim panel installed. You have your one bolt that you have to put in. It is kind of tricky. If you do not have the right type of equipment to do it, I use just an easy setup on setup. Some tools that I have. This is just 2 socket setups and then a magnet to line up where I can to get this bolt in. Pretty simple to get the bolt in and get all this set up and get done. You're basically done with the job after this. Once you install that bolt, you just want to go ahead and tighten it down. And then you can install your panel back in. You want to make sure that you put the lips in first, and then once you get those up and slotted, you can just pop it into place. Once that's installed, you can go ahead and install all your other hardware. One right here, two inside your door handle spot, and then two down below. One right here and one right here. And then you're done with your job. And that is how you install your tow mirrors onto a 2016 Chevy Silverado 1500.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of the power heated towing mirrors with LED turn signals fitting all 2014 through 2018 Silverado 1500s, and you can find these right here at AmericanTrucks.com.